I couldn't ignore the sense of urgency that radiated from Dr. Mathews, the scientist who had saved me from the contaminated water. He had a determination in his eyes that was impossible to ignore, and the weight of his mission hung heavy in the air. As we made our way through the dense woods, he glanced at the revolver holstered at my side, a hesitant question in his eyes. "You're armed," he observed. I nodded, my grip on the weapon tightening. "In a world like this, you have to be," I replied, my voice reflecting the harsh reality that had become our everyday existence. Dr. Mathews paused for a moment, seemingly deep in thought. "I could use your help," he finally said, his gaze unwavering. "I need someone to watch my back. The journey back to my lab isn't without its dangers, and I have fresh water there as payment, if that helps." The prospect of fresh water, something I had taken for granted in the old world, was a tempting offer. I had agreed to accompany him, not just for the promise of payment, but for the chance to be a part of something greater. "I'll watch your back," I confirmed, my commitment unwavering. We needed each other, and in a world gone mad, alliances were the key to survival. We continued on our path, the silent woods giving way to the sounds of our footsteps and the rustling leaves. Dr. Mathews shared little about the world that had led him to this point, but it was clear that he had seen his share of hardship. The makeshift lab was hidden deep in the woods, a testament to the lengths people had gone to in order to preserve a semblance of order in a world unraveling. Dr. Mathews had turned this remote location into a place of scientific discovery, and the significance of his work was not lost on me. As we arrived at the lab, I couldn't help but marvel at the makeshift equipment, the rows of water samples, and the remnants of experiments that sought to make sense of the chaos. It was a place where hope and desperation mingled, where the pursuit of knowledge was a beacon in the darkness. As promised, Dr. Mathews handed me a large bottle of fresh water, and I drank all of it within seconds. The doctor wasted no time in getting to work, his determination unwavering. "You're welcome to stay and rest, but I need to keep working." I watched as he carefully analyzed the samples, his hands moving with the precision of a seasoned scientist. It was a reminder of the world that had once been, a world of discovery and progress, now reduced to the pursuit of survival. The hours passed, the day fading into evening, and Dr. Mathews shared some of his findings with me. He explained that the contamination of water sources was widespread and seemed to be spreading. Violent meningitis had not only unleashed chaos in the form of infected individuals, but had also disrupted the basic necessities of life. As the scientist's work continued, I couldn't help but admire his resilience. In a world where the pursuit of knowledge had become a fragile lifeline, he had clung to the hope that a solution could be found, that order could be restored. Our alliance, born out of necessity, had deepened into something more profound. I had witnessed the scientist's unwavering commitment to a world that had fallen into chaos, and it had rekindled a glimmer of hope within me. As night fell, Dr. Mathews turned to me, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you for helping me," he said, "and as promised, fresh water for your travels." I accepted the extra water, and with a sense of gratitude that was impossible to put into words. As I packed the water into my backpack, Dr. Mathews pulled a flask of whiskey out of his lab coat. "Before you go, would you be interested in having a proper drink?" Amused, I asked, "Where'd you get that?" Dr. Mathews shrugged and said, "I found it on some poor bastard who didn't survive." He silently offered me the flask, and I had to admit, a real drink sounded damn good at that point.